What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the 606 Whateva Podcast, where we touch on events and agendas around the world and feed them to you from a Chicago perspective.
Man, tell them I'm unapologetically black, melanin heaven. So keep your 2 cents. We charging much more about the rain on them. I can't contain it anymore. Let's go. Let's go.
If you don't know me, I am Big Mel, aka The Premise. As you can see, the panel is a little bit larger than usual. I got the guys in the building. Let's go ahead and run them down, because I think last week when I was like, let's get right into it, they had kind of tugged on my shirt like, no, I want an introduction too. So
it's only fair.
To you already getting started.
I'm just saying, bro.
They don't even know what's going on behind the scenes, gang. You already started. To my immediate left, you already know him, Ray Skilly, a.k.a. Skills, the underground legend of hip-hop. Skills, what up, man?
What's going on,
Chi-Town hip-hop.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We do this. We've been doing this, man.
Yes, sir.
You ready to rumble today, man?
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it.
Good. To my far right, is the brother, my cousin, Vince Parks, a.k.a. Daddy Parks. We'll do that. You always laugh when I do that, man.
I do.
Hey, that's starting to stick.
Daddy Parks.
That's starting to
Daddy
stick,
Parks
man.
do kind of sound
Hey, you know, because the man don't do, the only thing I know what is done by Vince now these days is being a damn good father, man.
Well, I appreciate
So that's
it, man.
why I say Daddy Parks, man.
I'll take it. Yeah.
What's up, brother?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
How you doing, man? How
I'm
the
okay.
family?
Everybody's good, you
Tell
know.
cuz I said what up. What
I
up,
will.
cuz? How you doing?
She probably enjoying some strange fruit as we speak.
You know. That's a good thing. Strange with Will.
Yeah.
It ain't time for the commercial. Yeah,
My bad, you know.
Man, we got to take care of the sponsor. To my immediate right, one of the brothers, co-producer of the show,
co-founder of the show.
co-founder.
Not quite.
Yeah, you're doing way too much.
No, you're right.
I was about to soup it up for you, man.
You're right.
You ain't got to, come on, get off that narcissistic shit. But
Real time.
one of the brothers, as far as opinions and how I move and getting advice from this brother is just my brother and somebody I value very highly. Billy Hoffman, a.k.a. the Black Spurt.
Billy
Yes,
Hoffa,
sir.
the Black Spurt.
I think one of the first, maybe not the first episode, but we've started and stopped this thing a couple times, but it's over with now. We got the cog spinning.
Exactly.
But when we started it up first time, it was me and you. That's why you said the co-founder. That's why you confused yourself. But Billy Hoffa, a.k.a. the Black Spurt,
Yes, sir.
a.k.a. the background genius. What up, baby?
Billy Hoffa, the Black Spurt. I'm back at it like Pookie the fucking crack addict,
Hey,
son. You
that's
didn't
what
shout
I'm
out to
talking
my
about.
man Ray Skill.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's one of my favorite rap. Mel can tell you. I say that shit all the time.
Hey.
One of my favorite lines, period. I can't say the rest because it's 2022. You know what that next line is.
Yeah, I know what that next one.
We can't say it in
what the next one
2022.
is.
We can't say
But
that.
the good old
We
days,
can't
you can
say
say whatever you want.
Hey man, and not be confined or put in a box or. Well, the good thing about it, guys, as long as our sponsor, Strange Fruit Premium Cannabis, continues to sponsor us, we don't have to be canceled.
Okay.
Because we take care of our own situation.
So wait a
if-
minute.
Good.
So you coach and play for the team you own.
I'm not only a client
Okay.
in those.
Right.
I think you guys know the rest.
Yeah.
Not only a
So that being said,
being said.
gentlemen, I think the introductions were very valid.
Yeah.
Let's go into it, man. So
Let's
we
do it.
got some things that we want to touch on. If you know what the 606 Whateva Podcast is, we get into everything: politics, sports, racism, politics, sports, racism. I mean, is there really much more to get into? We do get into some hip hop. We get into entertainment as well.
A little bit.
It still is Black History Month. We're gonna talk about what what Black history means to you and what Black history luminary has put you on to Black History Month. Like my son came home with a picture of Frederick Douglass, and he was so excited about it. You know, I know a lot of people that think Black History Month started because Frederick Douglass's birthday was
that is part of it.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying
that is part of the reason they chose February.
But it was Black History Week.
I'm just telling you where people stand at with Black History Month, whether it's ignorance or it's a fact. A lot of people really consider Black History Month because it was the month of Frederick Douglass's birthday. But again, my son, that is officially the first. He's 8, right? He's 8, and my other son is 7. But officially, Frederick Douglass is the guy. Now, my other son, my 7-year-old, he's definitely like a reader and just an examiner of everything. So he's threw like a lot of names out there to me. But so we'll touch on who was the person that sparked our Black history interest, and it may be it could be a Caucasian that sparked it because we tired of it. You know what I mean?
Well, so I kick it off. So I got my notes about somebody who I really like and I've come to like later on in life, in college, W.E.B. Du Bois, activist, sociologist, writer, Pan-African historian, et cetera, et cetera. But the person who really put me on to Black history and made me really want to start digging into it was Tupac.
Okay.
Yep. That's Tupac, bro.
Damn.
That's dope.
That's that is because you know what? You know why that's such a good point? Because like the historians that we think about, right, were brought to you by your teaching Caucasian.
Right.
And it was cool that you said Pac because that was something that kind of just put you on point without any type of teachings from, and this is no knock on Caucasians, but it puts you on point because you actually was like, man, Pac is really
talking about this shit,
man. And that's the reason why, like, not from a lyrical aspect, because I got like several other guys that's above Pac, but just from an activist, just as a human being, a character, a figure, a status in the world, like Pac is up there for me. So that's pretty cool. Skills.
I'm gonna keep it quick, but it was a weird moment. Like I was at a family reunion, maybe about 8 or 9 years old, and I had a cousin, and her and all of her kids wore dashikis, and they bust out the drum and played some music at the family reunion.
Yeah.
And I just had never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, what's that all about? You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden they just do a solo with the drums, and the kids was raised to be a part of that and all in it. And kids, we thought that was weird. You know what I'm saying? Kids our age wearing dashikis or whatever. And she took that time and broke it down to us. Why they wear that, about our culture, about our history.
Exactly.
And that was the first time I even realized that was something to our history other than what I had already seen.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? All I knew was my grandmama, my mother, my father. I didn't know beyond that. And she raised her kids to celebrate that. Right. And to ride with their ancestors. And that was the first time it even came to my attention that there's so much more history to me than just the people I saw.
That's actually pretty dope.
That's powerful.
Damn, brothers. Yeah, Vince, don't disappoint us. you got a tough act to follow, bro. Go ahead, man. Me too. I do as well.
Mine isn't, I guess my story isn't as interesting as everybody else's, but it was just like being a kid coming up in the 80s. I was in Catholic school, and I just happened to be in a Catholic school that was like pro-black, and like they had Black Jesus all over, a black, a portrait of Black Jesus in the chapel.
Catholic school, and they also went fucking hard as shit.
Yeah.
Like history.
Like they went hard. And so like,
because I went to St. Agatha, it was just like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's dope that we had
I went
to
Catholic school too, and I was like, they gave me an award for like a Black Student of the Year. Like they were on
I
that
thought you
shit.
was like blackest nigga of the year or some shit.
That's basically probably what the award really meant. But as a kid, I was just like, "Oh, look what I got, mom." But I mean,
that's just basically like
that's crazy. We all
going.
Did everybody go to Catholic schools?
Yeah, I think
and
everybody
grammar school.
I went through 6th grade.
Me too.
Yeah.
Now I went to Newberry, but then from 6th to 8th, I went to Catholic school. That's pretty cool. Mine, I don't know if it's as cool as you guys, because it was what y'all said was some heavy shit. But mine was my mother. She just used to instill certain things in me that would definitely make me look at the world a lot differently, and also, kind of evaluate my blackness, so to speak, and making me just understand that my skin color is beneficial. It's special, and you have to sometimes proceed with caution, because she's the one that really let me understand what the oppressor was about. And as I got older, I realized like why she would move like that and act like that. Now she's a little more settled and a little more conservative, a little more worrisome, because like I think she now is like, shit ain't really changed too much, so leave that shit alone. And just bam, go your own way. Like it's like every neighborhood I go to, where you going? She wouldn't even know the neighborhood. She'd be like, it's crazy over there, be careful. But I think it's like from where she came from. My mother used to go to Fred Hampton like sessions. Like she would go to Black Panther meetings. And I think her going through that and then seeing like things really haven't progressed the way that they thought it would, it's kind of discouraged that drive and motivation, and it just kind of like what it does to all of us as Black people. Like, let's just focus on our families to make sure we can move forward and live righteous and positive, and don't worry about activism, because that's the shit that'll get you killed.
It changed the fight.
Yeah, so that was mine. Like my mother, shout out to my mother, Pamela Phillips.
Auntie Pam.
Auntie Pam, for sure. Yeah, so that was mine. So I think all of us really had like some prominent situations that put us on what we're doing today, especially on the 606 Whateva podcast, is talking about the things we talk about on the regular. That being said,
it's important. It's important to our 5 people who watch this consistently. Is it more than 5 now?
No,
it's 1,000. You were talking about thousands. So
yeah.
But to all of you, it is very important, whether you're Black or not, to celebrate Black history.
Absolutely.
We talked about that last week too, Bill. We talked about that last week, and we told Skills, you had mentioned like when I posed the question, because the Morgan Freeman question, we're not going to stay here.
No, please
don't. Right?
We're not doing it. You told me about it.
I spoke to you about that too. Like some people think, Black history.
You just got to stop talking about it, and then it's gonna miraculously go away.
Well, he kind of brought it up. So.
Yeah.
Keep Black.
I wanted to move on to something a little more.
You still can.
Keep it moving.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go right now. Yeah. Okay. So here's where we're gonna go.
Oh shit!
There is a swimmer, And what's the name of the college? Penn?
University of Pennsylvania.
University.
Okay.
Okay.
Penn, not Penn State.
And then Penn State.
Ivy League school.
You corrected me on that earlier. So University of Penn swimmer Leah Thomas. It says leaves Ivy League meet a 4-time champion, but questions remain.
Why do questions remain?
So when I say Leah Thomas, I'm sure you guys are thinking like, what's going on with her? Right?
Sure.
Leah Thompson was murdering all the other female competitors. And she's just been dominating the sport. Leah Thomas was born a man. So the thoughts or the questions I have on this for you guys, right? Now I know that we're in the era of the LGBTQ community. And I know there are pronouns and adverbs and verbs and
Get it right.
And let me be clear. And I don't want to, make a joke out of this situation.
Tread lightly. No pun intended.
But I do want your thoughts on this. Like, do we feel like that that the other women that are competing in these competitions are getting a fair share?
No.
Because even when you wait, skills.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So even with the feeling of transgenderism, I think I made that.
You did.
You tried. That's all that matters.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Right.
Being a transgender basically means that you're not gay.
Right.
You feel like you're a woman, or you feel like you're the opposite.
You were born.
Right. You don't feel comfortable. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Dave Chappelle has a great joke when he says, "I feel Chinese, but I won't even talk about that today."
But this is how I feel inside.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that Leah Thomas individual still has the testosterone of a male,
right?
The strength of a male,
right?
The ability of a male,
right?
It's one of the reasons why they don't mix. And I'm not slighting women by any means. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
But
they're superior in a lot of other areas besides physical strength.
I'm not even talking about superiority though here. So you're
they
doing
give
a
life
disservice by saying that. I'm not talking about superiority. Okay. What I'm talking about is there are just different lanes. So when you combine the NBA and the WNBA, it just won't work out properly. Now, by what you said, that means you're slighting Candace Parker. You're saying she's not as valid as Giannis.
I feel that in terms of physicality, faster, stronger, it is statistically provable that men are superior to women in that area. That's about the only area that can be statistically proven because women live longer, they have stronger immune systems. That's why my fucking wife got COVID and I had the vaccine and laid in the bed next to me without her vaccine and didn't get shit. Because there are more areas that they're superior. But yes, physically, we run a faster 100-yard dash. We jump higher. We grow to be bigger. That's not shitting on women to say that, bro.
That's just a fact.
It's a fact.
So,
and this is the boils down to the heart of our argument with this. But
you definitely, first of all, let me say, this is the reason why you're in production. You cleaned that up very well, and I'm very proud of you. So with that being said, because you feel a certain way, does that supersede science, guys? Should that supersede science?
No.
Okay, you've been itching. You take it. Bro,
let me get mine out the way.
Come on, Steely.
I'm going to do my thing, all right? Listen, and this is important for me to say, because the truth about it is, and just like Bill said, it's already been proven, men are superior in that area in terms of athletics. It is proven. You have watched competitions where men have went against women in tennis, in track, in other sports, and they have dominated. They had a 2-time champion. I forget the lady's name. They put in the ring with a guy who was an amateur boxer, and she couldn't compete with him. It's no disrespect to women to say something that's scientifically proven. So that's not a slight at them. That's just the truth. But this is my thing, and I said this to my wife, and she always rolls her eyes, but she knows she can't argue. This isn't a fight for men, right? Because we're not intimidated of a woman becoming a man and dominating us in our sport.
Come on.
So it's not going to affect us. It's fine. I don't have a problem with anybody identifying as anything. And if you tell me to identify you a specific way, I will respect you and identify you the way you ask me to. So I'm not even tripping off that. But this is a problem for women. Because all of these records, all of this hard work that women really did at these universities are going to be destroyed by trans women who were once men. Because they are already doing it. They're going to shatter all of their records, and they're never going to be able to compete with those records. That's who really need to be concerned about this movement. Somebody saying they're on the same level as a person who can bring life into the world just because they feel that way. If women are comfortable with this activity, because there's a lot of women who are not. I watched the press conference of women trying to get trans women out of these competitions at schools and in the Olympics. They know what the threat really is, but this isn't a threat for men. You can be whoever you want to be, but somebody saying that they're the same as a woman. We hold women in a high regard. We look at women, they're the mother of the universe. They give birth, they give life. And now we're gonna let a group of people, and no disrespect to them, but a group of people say, we're on the same level as that. Because we feel that way.
Because we feel that way.
And like you said, if the shoe was on the other foot, it wouldn't even scratch the surface if a woman that feels like a man entered our sport.
Go ahead and get in the ring with a male boxer.
But how much have you heard of that? Maybe we just don't hear about it for political or media reasons. But it doesn't, because they can't compete.
Exactly.
They're not going to shatter our records.
And they don't want to.
Exactly.
So,
okay.
Let's pass it to our brethren over here.
Vince.
Wrap it up for us, Vince. Wrap it up.
I got mine.
One of the guys who I know wants to touch on this, because when it comes to this LBGTQ conversation, he always has worthy insight on it. How do you feel about it?
How would you feel if your daughter was the top swimmer in the state, and then some gentleman who graduated with her decided to have a transition, and by the time they got to be seniors, she was coming in second place behind him?
That's a hell of a setup.
I don't care. Like, honestly, I don't care. I don't care.
You wouldn't care about the competition?
No, I don't care. Like, honestly.
What if your daughter cared?
And I tell you, well, look, she is an independent person. She's entitled to her own opinions.
Okay.
But I think for me, and I'm just like, once again, just speaking for myself, I think a lot of this, when it comes in the sports realm, it's like, from my perspective, present company excluded, but a lot of people who are making this an issue, the sports issue is secondary. I feel, not everybody, but I feel like a lot of people who are making this an issue, it has more to do with them not thinking that transgendered people are, people or deserve rights or this, that, and the other. So I think, my opinion, I think that you can feel that it provides, you can feel that in this case, a transgender woman entering a women's swimming competition gives that person an unfair advantage against the other competitors. Everybody's entitled to their opinion on that. I'm sure.
How do you feel about that, though?
Like I said,
what do you say? So you're just gonna stay neutral? Do you feel? I want to get your take on this, because the three of us think that it's not an accurate.
I'm trying.
No, go say. No, go ahead. Go ahead. No. But let him. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But the three of us feel like this is an unfair scenario, right? But we also don't feel like that a transgender is less of a human.
No, and I'm not. And I said present company excluded. Like I'm not including y'all in that by any stretch of the imagination.
But it is relevant within the conversation because you could or couldn't run into like 50 or 60 more people that feel like the exact same way we do.
Right. Like I get it.
So that's the reason why I guess I kind of wanted your take on, instead of just I don't care, it doesn't matter to me. Like, do you think, like, from a science aspect, that it is fair for a woman, when you look at estrogen, testosterone, and just the DNA makeup, to compete with a male when all we've known all these years was that competitions are separate between men and women just because of that?
Can I
go for it? Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So I like to hear different perspectives and points of views, right? And I feel exactly what he's saying, because what he's saying is, we have this hyper mass, and I'm guilty of it. I play football and all that. I'm a man's man, right? But I see what he's saying, right? Because ultimately these people are fucking swimming in a pool to win some fictitious medal for so I do get that side of the argument, right? Where it's just like, it ain't even really that big, and if this woman want to call herself a woman and swim with women, do we need to like get our picket signs out and our pitchforks? And so I totally get that side.
On the surface, when you really,
and I'm glad he said it just how he said it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm the issue is the issue. It's not an issue whereas we feel strongly to the point where every transgender person is out here, flogging. What the shorties be saying now? They flogging or they.
That's y'all say flogging?
We not.
I never heard that.
We're not out here
flogging. Okay, that's
that.
Right.
But I just wanted, instead of like the brush off, I honestly feel like everybody, and if that's your opinion, like you really can't give a like distinct answer because it really doesn't matter to you at all, then that's fine. But I was just from a science aspect, and I know like, science and religion and
science
all that
matters.
What I'm saying is like, according to the DNA makeup, we prosper in certain physicalities that a woman does not. So if things have been separate for all this time as far as sports, you got men's sports, you got men's tennis, women's tennis, men's basketball, women's basketball, men's soccer, women's soccer, so forth and so on, because it's not jailed together, and I think that's for a specific reason.
It is.
Do you feel like because a man actually feels like a woman, that they should be able to engulf themselves in a woman's sport? And vice versa. Like if a woman feels like a man, should they engulf themselves into a man's sport?
At your own risk.
I would answer it this way.
Taking the whole, just stripping us from how we feel about transgenders and the LGBTQ community, because I don't think anybody on this panel has an issue with how somebody feels about themselves. And I mean, listen, bro, like we're black.
Yeah, I guess
So
the reason why I say I don't care about it or I don't think about it is because, once again, from my perspective, it's not like we're talking about a bunch of cases where regardless, male, female, whatever you want to call it, where a transgendered person is, entering into the opposite, a transgendered woman, a transgendered male is now competing in, male track and field, and a transgendered woman is competing in a swim meet.
Right.
Like, so the reason why I say, to be clear, the reason why I say like, I really don't think about it is because I feel, once again, my opinion, I feel like the media's made such a big issue about this, and there's such a small sample size of cases where these situations have been happening. But because, we're divided on the issue, and there are people who, are against transgendered people, and there are people who are for transgendered people. It is such a divisive issue that when these cases pop up, in my opinion, so few and far between, they get highlighted to make it feel like, oh shit, like if your daughter plays sports, watch out, because all of these testosterone fueled, he-she's are about to come over and take over. Nah, I'm just saying it. But when you when you look at it, when you look at the total number of cases, it's probably a rounding error in the grand scheme of things. So that's why I feel like when I say I don't care because to me it's like a boogeyman thing where they're trying to use this to make people think that like all these people are gonna, all these people who wake up one day and decide they want to be a woman now are gonna come over and take over sports. And it's like, it ain't really happening like that.
That's a great point.
It ain't really happening like that.
A really strong point.
It ain't really happening like that.
That's a very good point for those who, and I'll say this and leave it alone. That's a very strong point for those who have that mindset and they're against it in general, so they'll use anything to push that agenda.
Yeah.
But on the other side, I have seen interviews with women athletes who have a problem with this. And again, lucky for us, gentlemen, it's not our fight.
Well,
so the women will speak for it. They will come forth. They will challenge it. They will try to get whatever they get banned.
Damn it! If you have a daughter, it's your goddamn fight.
That's their fight.
To counter that, the woman she broke 3 of that woman's record who graduated from Harvard. She supported it fully.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
she's
look.
actually just been hired at a law firm. Okay, moving on. Let's move on to something a little bit more direct,
palatable,
a little bit more of an insult to the African American community, shall we?
Daily.
Right. The police. No.
So, yes. Say it again. Say it. It's not the police. It's the police.
It's the police. Yeah.
Right.
What they done
what?
Kim Potter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The ex-cop convicted in the Dante Wright death. Mm-hmm. If you don't know about this situation, Kim Potter pulled her pistol out and shot Dante Wright. Her excuse was she thought it was her taser instead of her pistol.
During a traffic stop.
Right.
Once again, a traffic stop.
Hey, facts matter, right? Yeah.
Maybe they do feel the same. Anyway, she was convicted of the crime. Good, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait for it. Yeah.
Nope, not even 2 years. 16 months.
Yeah.
16 months.
16 months.
She's already served 58 days of that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
I mean, again, one of the phrases that we use on this podcast is we can't make this shit up.
No.
These are real facts, guys. When that's one of the reasons why I said my mother just be like, get home safe, and shit like this has beat her up over the years, has beat all of us up over the years.
Yeah.
And when it comes to justice and when it comes to equality, things are just not in an upswing, so to speak.
And in this case, I believe when the judge was handing down the sentence, she actually quoted President Obama when she was handing down the 16-month sentence. Right. So I'm gonna let y'all let that sink in.
That makes sense in that situation.
Right.
So, let's not live here too long because it definitely is a tad bit irritating. But let's definitely give dialogue on it because everybody that's looking deserves that. I think for us to give some, complete and prominent dialogue on the bullshit that is taking place with our justice system once again.
Well, so on one level, it's extremely systematic and it's a larger problem, which I don't want to get into, right?
Yeah.
On the immediate side, what needs to happen is for cities and municipalities not to be sued, but for cops and the FOPs to have to pay that money. That would deter.
That would stop a lot
them
of shit.
Slightly,
Yeah.
right? So if I kill somebody, instead of me still getting my pension and getting job offers, et cetera, and the city having to pay for it, because we talked about Laquan McDonald, they still had to pay that family a couple of $1 million, right? But if that came out of the officer's pocket, that might deter things slightly.
Yeah, but they're underpaid as well. So
they'll file bankruptcy. They'll file bankruptcy, but it'll still
police
send a
officers.
message.
No,
The police officer is underpaid, but the law enforcement in general is not underpaid.
Right.
Like they're still being funded. That whole organization. It's just like when you talk about teachers and you talk about CPS. Like those things are two different
it's not
things.
It's apples
police
to
officers
oranges.
make, and then once they hit certain, their pensions are much larger, and once they hit certain ranks and all of that, they getting paid, bro.
Well, I guess what I meant by the comparison is you have the union and then you have the workers. So that's the differential situation I was trying to make with police officers and the union and teachers and the unions. But at the end of the day, police officers have without even talking about like compensation financially, the mentality of the law enforcement in general is driven by a system that has never been for us, and they could be getting paid pennies on the dollars and they'll still actually be treating us like animals.
But you are right, though. It is a hard job because they do handle too much, right? No way they should be handling basic traffic stops anyway, right? When you really think about that shit.
And it also leads to the fact that some of these officers are being placed in areas that they have no business being placed in anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So when we talk about your white suburban guy from Naperville being placed in Inglewood to try to police that situation, and the minute that he's dropped off and he's a beat cop out there, he's nervous as fuck before anything even takes place, right? So hand on hip, and I'm trust me, I'm not vouching for these officers, but at the same time, the system has placed them there.
Facts.
Yeah. And I get it. Like I was just talking to, one of my bros, who's a correction officer, and his wife is an officer as well. There are not a lot of people, because that's what the system does as well too. They detach us from law enforcement purposely, right? So there are not a lot of us trying to, dive into law enforcement and say, you know what, I'm tired of this. I want to get out there and be that person that kind of changes the game for the whole scheme of law enforcement when it comes to interacting with African Americans. So that's one of our biggest issues too. The whole personnel of law enforcement in certain areas is wrong to begin with.
Well, I've always felt like two ways about it. Like one, the fact that that's a consistent pattern isn't a mistake, in my opinion.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
That's number one, right?
Number one.
And the other side is the comparison I make is, for the variety of people that I've worked with and up to this age, Caucasian men are a big fan of hunting. And it almost is very comparable to that. If their mindset is, I'm in a specific area where I don't need to have remorse for these people because they're animals and they don't care anyway. That's equivalent to shooting a deer, in my opinion. So that was the one way I looked at it in terms of how they do it. So they don't think they're doing something wrong. They think they're doing something for sport. Hey, we're helping the city by getting rid of these terrible people. The mindset behind that is what I think is very consistent with the people that they put in our areas. And I'll say this on the other side. For those of us who have ever known police officers that came from our neighborhood, that come from our culture. I've known some, and they're good people. They're good family men. They do what they're supposed to do. But they go to work and they do their job the way it's designed to be done.
Exactly.
I don't doubt that some of those white men who have killed people aren't bad. They aren't terrible people. They're doing what the system designed.
That is their job. That is their job description. They follow their job description to the law, and they do exactly what they're told to do. And in exchange for that, we are the ones that suffer the cost of that the most. But I'll say this one other part too. For the police officers that have tried to make a difference and have stood out against it and have spoke up against it, nothing good has ever happened to them, right? So when we're asking police officers to stand up and do something to break this systematic oppression, it's a winless fight for them. Because the minute they put their name out there, they put their reputation, their career out there, they lose it all. So there's no incentive for people to stand up and fight against something, and it becomes almost a winless fight.
So I agree with everything you guys just said, except for one thing. I do feel like the way the system is designed, it is inviting to the bad people, to the bad cops. So I don't think those cops are a victim of the system. I think that they were just introduced to this situation and they fit in perfect for the system according to their morals and values and upbringing.
Exactly. No, I was just going to say, you hit it on the head, because if you look at most police officers that are involved either in some, brutality or some shooting, a civilian death or something like that, if you look at their track records, at least of the ones we've heard about in the media, more times than not, if you go to look at their police record, there are multiple complaints around, abuse of power, excessive force, you name it. And they either get, promoted or nothing happens or this, that, and the other.
Hide behind the system.
And so
as opposed to being a victim of it.
So my argument, and even what you were saying, Skills, about the officers who mean well not being able to really do anything, to change the system, my response to that would be they can't change the system because in many cases the system is working exactly how they want it to work.
Right.
So it's like there is no motivation to change the system because, and we've talked about it on this podcast before, because every time a person of color gets, shot and killed by the police, there's always these steps to get followed. And so one, it's like, okay, we report that this happens. And then two, all of a sudden you find like the person who's gotten shot or has gotten killed is getting put on trial for getting shot and getting killed. Yeah. And it's always like, the trope is they must have done something. Yeah. Sure. So it's like when that happens almost every time, and everybody in this room can damn near set their clock to when it's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. How do you fix that?
You
can't fix
it. In the pre-production as well, man. Just in regards to things that just like not basically for us. Mm-hmm. So, at the end of the day, just protect your neck.
That's it. Like you give it to black people, just protect your neck,
bro. But look at what we are now.
It's crazy, right?
It's hopeless now, bro. Like when I look at the old,
we can't put that hopeless word out.
And I disagree.
I tell you what,
I do disagree.
I want you to disagree. I don't want to feel hopeless, but I'm just going off of the pattern of this, right? We get to a point now where we go from people that come together to boycott the CTA. Now, them that shut the bus company down for something they believed in. We look at Black Panthers, who they were getting killed one at a time, but people were still joining in droves of numbers, despite knowing they was criminal number one, and they still fought for that. We've gotten to a point now where, like you said, and there's no disrespect to that, I'm there. To what your mother said, I'm saying it to mine now. Yeah. Where you get to a point where I need to focus and protect these people now. Yeah. Because this becomes a fight you feel like you can't win. Who has come out? And I know it's all kind of documentaries of these black police officers who banded together and to go against it. They are unemployed. They are forgotten about.
But you know what that mentality...
What is the incentive?
But you know that mentality right there, and I'm not faulting you for it, brother, but that mentality right there leads to segregation internally as well. So it leads to us, like, almost when we protect our own necks, and I'm not saying that's a wrong thing too. Trust me, there's no... If you move in a positive manner and you are protecting your family, you're not wrong for that. But at the same time, with us being behind the 8 ball so much, once there is some type of discouraging disagreement between us, it segregates us internally as well. And that also makes us weaker against the oppressor. So it's hard to just be this. Everybody's not built for activism. Like,
no, exactly. That's it.
Yeah, but it almost feels like that we have to be that in order to catch up. You know what I'm saying?
So, and then I know you want to wrap it up.
No, go ahead. Speak on it, bro.
I feel you, because I feel that way sometimes too, right? Especially when you start to live more years, right? When you live more years, you see the progress moving like a turtle. You're like, oh, shit. But guess what? In the 1840s, there were most black people who felt like that. In 1965, most black people felt like that. But there was about 10 or 15 people that said, I don't feel like that, son. I don't feel like this shit ain't gonna change. And those are the people who help move the needle, you know what I mean? So, yes, it can feel like that. Like, trust me, most of the time.
How many of them still alive?
But guess what, though? How many of them
still alive?
But guess what, though? We gonna keep them coming. Okay, that's what we do.
It wasn't as subliminal as it is now, though.
You know, and it is. And so, but guess what though? They come up with new. But see back. So people who lived in like 1890s and maybe they made it to like their 50s or 60s when they was stuff. They probably was like, oh, these tricks they ain't like they was doing in the 1800s. They come with this Jim Crow shit now.
Right.
They ain't just enslaving us. But guess they come with a better system, and then we come with better warriors. And it's a long fight, bro. It's a long fight. But you can't feel like that for the sake of the next generation. Even though there ain't no more fight left in us.
I agree. Right. Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
And that's the inspiration. The next generation coming up. You know, they have that energy, that fighting spirit. They do. You're right.
And they're also in a realm where, like, the color barriers are a little different from slavery.
They also
do we all gotta just kill off and let them get it?
But they also in that area they slapping the shit out of people in Applebee's. Yeah.
We were slapping the shit out of people in Applebee's too. We just wasn't getting recorded.
Right.
Bro, I feel this way. They serve as inspiration, in my opinion. I've seen a pattern of enough things that I feel the way I feel. My son doesn't feel that way.
Exactly.
My son has all the hope in the world. Yeah, I want him to win. I want that generation to win. I'm just saying, from our experience, you get to a point where you got to decide at a certain age, right? What is the most important thing? Mm-hmm. And every man has to make that decision.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. So, man, it always becomes a very heavy situation when we talk about inequality, racism, all that stuff. But
it's a complex story.
Mm-hmm.
It's about this.
Let's go.
We got to take care of the sponsors. So, are you a victim of racism? Do you have anxiety because the world is treating you a certain way? Have you fallen into a slight depression or a major depression because you feel like there is just no way to climb out of your negative situation? Well, here's Strange Fruit Premium Cannabis. We have just the thing for you. We have flower in multiple strains. Multiple. When I say multiple, I mean multiple strains. We have edibles. Have plenty of edibles. We have vape carts, right? And we also have oils. We have infused coconut oil, infused butter, and infused olive oil. We have popcorn. We have pickles,
juice, all types of fruit juices,
everything.
Various
for your needs.
Yes.
We just want to help people through their situation from a medicinal aspect. I think
naturally.
You don't need to pop Advils, Excedrins, things of this nature. Strange Fruit Premium Cannabis allows you to still keep your natural state and just enhance it. If you need any enhancement or any uplift naturally and not through any chemical, please, www.strangefruitpremiumcannabis. It's just www.strangefruit.com. Right?
No, www.strangefruitpremium.com.
Hey.
www.strangefruitpremium.com.
Strangefruit_premium_.
There you go. Strangefruit_premium_.
There you go.
And also you can get at Big Mail Music, at Big Mail Music. You can go on Facebook and go to my fan page, Big Mail, aka The Premise. These are all avenues to get to Strange Fruit Premium Cannabis. Once you hit me up, just text any of those reach out to any of those platforms. We'll put you on our menu list. We will deliver to your front door. Strange Fruit Premium Cannabis.
Hey,
there it is.
All right.
With that being said, I see you guys were kind of passing the tiki torch around.
We was passing some strange
It
fruit.
felt a little strange while I was
That's the blue dream, bro. That's the blue dream.
That's blue drink.
Yeah, I like that.
That is a 50-50.
That is a sativa.
That's a sativa.
That's a 70-30.
You're usually an indica guy, though.
That's for the creatives, man. That's why I brought this.
Listen, bro.
I like both energies. Both energies is okay.
For sure. Yeah. And just to educate you on what you're smoking, that's also a big proponent to Strange Fruit Premium Cannabis. We will definitely educate you on what you're smoking, what the backlash should be, how it's going to make you feel. Get at us. Moving on, guys, let's talk about something a little more loose. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
It's been real. Everything
It has been very
It's been tight.
It's a little serious and tight.
Let's slow it down a little bit. And talk about this All-Star weekend, man.
Hey.
I got my thoughts on it.
As do I, yeah.
So, first of all, shout out to Kat for winning the
3 points.
Yeah. That was dope.
I
That was dope.
I'm not a gambler, right? So it's funny.
Starting to sound like it, but go ahead.
It's funny, no, because I'm not, because I had won some money from the Super Bowl on my FanDuel. And I put $2 on Cat winning the 3-point shootout. Won $36.
Okay.
Hey, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's minuscule to gamblers, but I'm not a gambler, so I'm like, yeah, okay.
You won more than you more than you bet.
Right.
Yeah,
Profit.
exactly.
It's definitely a profit for spending like minimum amount of money, but first of all, I didn't like the skills competition at all. Didn't like that at all. The only thing that I took away in a positive manner was the 3-point shootout. Obviously, if anybody that I know like the dunk contest, I may stop being friends.
Man. But getting back to the skills right quick, did you find it weird? Because was that where Giannis had like his brothers?
Yes.
And then like one brother's in the G League, and it's like, what we doing?
So
yeah.
He had 4, because that's not the brother that played for the Lakers, was it?
The team with him is the one who played
with
for the Lakers.
Lakers,
No,
yeah.
it ain't. No, it's not.
He don't got 4 brothers, do we?
Man, I think he does, because
3 brothers.
that guy was the guy that's on his team with him with the Bucks. was on there the same time bro was playing for the Lakers.
Okay. Look, I don't know. He's
got 4 brothers, for sure he does.
Yeah.
I think the brother that played for the Lakers is overseas now.
Okay.
Which is insane. Like so shout out to that family.
Yeah.
Man. Like, damn, what they doing, bro?
Hey. But for real, they got to do away with the dunk contest, man. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
If you remember, look, we said that when Brent Berry won the dunk contest in like 98 or 99, I want to say, they did away with it for 2 years. And what happened? Vince Carter, 2000. Tracy McGrady, Steve Francis came back and just revitalized it.
But the thing is, I think, is that you're starting to see more and more of like, how would I put it? Like
amateurish?
Nah, I won't say amateurish, but you're starting to see like the players you would really want to see in a dunk contest. Like, right? We ain't gonna see it now because 38, but like for years, people are like, oh, I want to, Bron should be in the dunk contest. And now people have been saying, even the other night, John Morant should be in there. And he was like, he ain't doing it. And he was like, I ain't doing it. And so I'm like, I think.
It's cool now to not participate.
Right. But you used to have the people you wanted to see used to be in the contest, and now the people you would want to see in the contest are like, nah, I'm not doing it. So I don't. And what happened Saturday night, I was like, I'll never need to see this again.
But it was like a couple shitty dunk contests that I've witnessed. Like one of them was the Brent Berry one.
Yeah.
Another one was the Desmond Mason one when he won.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Jason
shitty.
Richardson was in there though. He did some good dunks. I think he might have missed it. That's why
But the first one, Desmond Mason won. I don't think Desmond Mason, did he win 2 of them?
He definitely won one.
I know he won one. Yeah.
So, but it came back with Jason Richardson, and then a couple years down, you could go to Zach and Aaron Gordon, and then we.
But speaking of that, since those 2 cats participated, what's a good dunk contest you've seen since? What was that, 2016?
Well, Derrick Jones.
Derrick Jones did some good dunks.
Derrick Jones,
okay,
he did.
Okay.
This year was 2 years ago. Was that 2 years ago or last year with Derrick Jones? Derrick Jones and Aaron Gordon. When D Wade kind of robbed Aaron.
Oh, that was Chicago. That was like 2 years ago.
That was Chicago. That was the last really good one.
See, I think Levine and Gordon was the last great dunk contest.
It was.
Yeah.
And like everyone since then has been whatever. Sure. Yeah, but man, well, I didn't like it.
I agree with you. I think we're all in agreement with that Saturday night was a debacle of just. It was terrible. I fell asleep on it. Actually.
And it's a debacle because I'm sorry, Bill. But it's a debacle because if you look at like just an actual all-star game amongst the big 3, big 4 sports, NBA does it the best. It's the best all-star. Yeah. Like the Pro Bowl is trash. All-star game is whatever.
The Pro Bowl is definitely.
I mean, there ain't nobody trying. I get it.
Just abolish the game or turn it into a flag football game.
Exactly, but like that's the best all-star product that gets put out there.
It would be more fun to watch that.
So I feel like they shouldn't abolish the dunk contest.
Right. I agree with you.
The 3 is more popular. That's why you see more people in the 3-point contest.
It's just easier to
we
entertain.
Move that to last, and then for the dunk contest, we need to help them out and say, we want you to do this dunk and put your twist on it. And if you gave them, if you helped produce it more and said, and it ain't got to be no easy shit. They be throwing it off. And if you did that would, it going to be great still. And then maybe the last one, you do your own dunk. Your one dunk or your 2 best dunks instead of, you know what I'm saying? If they help them and then move it to the middle, because it shouldn't go away. I want to see motherfuckers dunk.
Okay.
And even the boat, this was the worst one right here. Even that Brent Berry one was slightly irritating. This year was.
It was? I really don't think you remember it. But go ahead, though.
This year was, because they was making it on the first try at least. Brent Berry made that fake ass 2 steps in. He made that on the first try, bro.
even the Kobe dunk contest wasn't great.
Exactly.
But when they just not even making it, it's just horrible TV.
You put on Tim's.
Yeah.
I'm saying, right. Yeah.
Put on Timberland. It took you 3 tries.
Fuck.
But so my thing is, Ray, I'm gonna let you jump in.
Listen, if the names ain't in it, I don't watch it.
Well, see, my thing is, I just think that the dunk contest has to have creativity involved. Like the 3-point contest, it is what it is with that shit, right? You shooting, they gonna make or miss it. The dunk contest just has to have those guys that are creative. And I feel like you just have to be patient with that shit sometimes. Like it comes and goes. It just comes and goes. Like I think that because we made such a stink about it, like they did when they literally abolished the dunk contest after that Brent Berry one. Like it was 2 years it was missing, then Vince and them came back. Mm-hmm. So I think because there's such a big stink about what this was, next year we'll get some heavies in there. But I also feel like that the dunk contest is what it is, and big wigs are scared to get in it because they don't want to tarnish their legacy by fucking up in it. Because there's so many, like there's an amateur dunk contest out there, bro, with like these amateurs that's not even in it. They be doing
that was the best one I've seen,
bro.
So maybe we could incentivize them and be like, if you win, you get to fuck 2 Kardashians or some shit like that. And you'll see like some bigger niggas get in this shit.
But let me ask you this.
That ain't no incentive. Everybody's doing it.
But let me ask you this.
Fuck 2 of them at the same time.
But let me ask you, do you tarnish your legacy? Because I remember one year back in the 90s when Jordan participated in the 3-point contest and he like...
They didn't give a fuck back then, bro. It's different.
It's so much
There's
coverage.
no social media involved. It's just a different monster right now where
Don't forget
like you literally I did actually forget about that.
Like, who's that dunk contest again?
It's cyber.
I'm just saying, yeah.
If you do bad in this era, bro. And that has everything to do with your trademark, your whole situation from how you're perceived from the fans.
Okay.
I'm just
I respect that.
Like,
yeah.
I agree with you though. Put it out there. As long as you producing on the court, who gives a fuck what's going on?
Right.
And that was just my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how they feel, but
bro, in every All-Star game, the names is the attraction.
True.
Yeah.
If the names don't interest you, it's already over. If the superstars won't participate in a superstar weekend, then what's the point of it? That's the point of it, bro. You don't want to see these guys, man. You tolerate it because it's tradition to watch it. When there's certain names mentioned, you're excited. They say John Morant was going to be in this dunk contest. It's people who don't even watch basketball that would have watched that shit.
But
the superstars make it.
Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon wasn't like no big wig names.
But this is how, because this is how I am about basketball. I'm going to talk from the perspective of a guy who really don't fuck with basketball like that.
I'm going to pass you edibles while you do this.
When I watch it, I watch the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of good matchups I watch. But for the most part, we Sports Center watch. And we don't really watch the sport. We watch the replays on Sports Center, right? Mm-hmm. On Sports Center, you saw a lot of replays of Zach LaVine. A lot.
Yeah, but he wasn't a big wig name.
Don't matter.
It don't matter.
As a person who don't really watch basketball but watch Sports Center, if you see enough clips of this kid and they mention his name in the dunk contest, you say, "Oh, I just seen replays of Shorty, man. Shorty got it."
Oh,
you'll check in.
So you didn't watch the dunk contest when it first happened,
bro? If the names, I look and see who's participating. And if I'm looking at a group of names and I don't even know, because like I said, you a basketball fan. So you can look at names and know where everybody plays. Mm-hmm. Sure. I don't. I'm like that with football. You can give me a list, I tell you where everybody plays. In basketball, I can't. So if I don't recognize the names, I'm not watching that shit. I don't know these guys.
The dunk contest got a cult following though.
Yeah,
it does.
But he has a point though, but the start.
He definitely has a point.
awesome dunkers. What if LeBron would have been there in his younger years?
But that's what people were saying.
Said he's not a creative dunker.
No, he would have been. Man, we done seen shit.
He's
taking his legs in high school. Bro.
I think that's a cop out. It's a cop out. It's a cop out.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because LeBron even said, like, I will submit myself in I forgot what year that was, but y'all remember it? When they put him on the spot at an All-Star weekend, he said, because that dunk contest was trash. Mm-hmm. He said, I will submit myself in the 20 such and such dunk contest, and he didn't even show up the following year.
And if you had offered those Kardashians, that they was out there doing that, you ever seen them when in high school?
Now LeBron knows he get his on the low, bro. He's a squeaky clean guy. He get his on the low. Shout out to LeBron.
Make a side deal.
They better get some damn names involved.
Because he done been down.
You gotta make the side deal with him.
Y'all gonna watch that shit anyway, because y'all fans of basketball.
True.
But people who don't watch it like you,
yeah, I'll take one.
if the names aren't interesting, we're not watching that shit, bro.
So I guess what we're saying is just at the end of the day, fix that shit. I don't know what we've dialogued on it. Fix that shit.
This is what you do, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I got an idea, and I'm not even a basketball guy. The bag should be great. You hear me? It should be at least a decent bag to want to get it, because they got money.
They do check a bag for the
not a
dunk contest.
He's saying you gotta
$5 million.
Yeah, you gotta put some more money into it.
Put some real money up.
They ain't gonna never
right. No, that ain't gonna happen.
But this is what I'm saying. You
put the real money up and put the real money right there.
Bro.
So when you dunk it, you see that bitch every time.
Put some real money up for that.
$5 million right there.
Let them go get it.
Go get that money.
That's actually not, even if it's not even the bag that they check. Put that shit in at center court.
Put that shit out there.
And you could just scoop it up and throw it on your shoulder.
When you win,
that's actually not a bad idea.
Once. $5 million once.
So I gotta.
I'll fuck around and
give them a real bag.
So let me pose this. Let me pose.
Calf raises like a motherfucker. Go ahead.
Let me put this question out here. So when halftime and they were bringing out all the cats that were on the okay, my bad. Go for it then. Go for it.
Go ahead.
No, I want to. It's your show. It's your show.
So yeah, the dunk contest needs help. At halftime, boom, I'm gonna throw it to you.
Nah, my question is this: at halftime, they roll out all the people that's on the top 75.
Talk about. Ooh, this is a good one.
I don't know about y'all. Some people on there. I was like, for real? I say this all the time. Low hanging fruit, Bill Walton.
Really?
He was an MVP of the league.
Man, you look at, I'm telling you. Look at Bill Walton's. Okay. I was talking to an OG about this. Bill Walton, no doubt, one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. You go and see what he was doing back in the 70s at UCLA. He was doing stuff that centers nowadays we're just starting to see do, as far as the jump shots, the ability to pass, all of that. I mean, he could do it all. Pass, rebound, block. Fantastic. Problem with Bill Walton in his NBA career, he showed flashes of greatness, no doubt. Portland got a championship. He won an MVP, all of that stuff. But his window of greatness was so short. So short. And like, he was on the 50th team. He's on the 75th anniversary team. I don't understand it.
Could it be politics?
Look, it's probably some people who are like, honestly, it's probably some people who are like, when he was good, and people hold on to that. And I think it's probably some UCLA shit that probably factored into it too, personally. Next up, I'm sorry, I know he's from Chicago. Somebody got to explain why.
I'm ready.
Somebody got to explain to me. Real talk. Somebody got to explain to me why AD on the team. And on that point, I'll turn it over to you, because I saw that and I was like, I need an explanation. So go ahead.
I need to know.
Yeah, I need to know. Go ahead.
Talking, bro.
Right. So.
Okay, first and foremost, who did Steph Curry just miss from breaking the all-star record of most points scored?
Okay, he had.
I was asking.
He did. He had 52 points.
Yeah.
All-star game. We get that.
Is he an NBA champion?
He is.
If, in fact, I think people get this misconstrued about AD, and I am on the same page with y'all in regards to this.
Mm-hmm.
But if AD, and I hate to throw this word "if" in because you could just shut me down immediately, right?
Which I'm going to do. Go ahead.
AD doesn't get injured like he does. Do you feel a different way about him being on that list?
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So with that being said, I feel like there are at least a good 10, 15 guys that shouldn't be on that list that AD trumps. So if you're going to mention why is AD on that list, go back to these old heads from the 50s, 60s, and 70s that's on that list as well. And even if you like literally pull up their whole tenure as far as their careers, a lot of them don't match up to AD's career.
Like
and he's nowhere near finished.
I'm going to need some names.
We know back then
right.
he was 60 and points a game.
Right.
So averaging 18 is totally different from averaging 18 now. We know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I'm talking about like way back type players. I'm assuming you're referring to those players. I had Sean Kemp over him. And I had Dwight Howard over Bill Walton.
I think Dwight should have been on the team. Yeah.
Sean Kemp should have been
I agree.
I'm going to go way back. Who was the player who in the 80s who scored more points in the 80s of any player that played in that 10 years time frame, and he's not on the top 75 list?
Sidney Moncrief?
No, it's Alex English.
Alex English.
And you look at Alex. Do me a favor. Look at Alex. He should be on there. No, injuries.
Is he in the top 30 of all-time scoring? Bernard
by total points or just by average?
By total points.
Is AD in the top 30?
But AD has still plenty in the tank. He's not even.
But is he in the top 30 right now though?
I'm sure he's not like.
Nah, he's
James,
no. I don't
like
think so.
A lot of these guys aren't in the top.
No, I'm just talking about AD
who's
though.
active.
Nah.
But you got guys that are active.
I'm just trying to figure out why you asked that question.
Because he's done.
AD not even in the top 30.
When I say that, like he's well extended from his basketball career.
On the trajectory that he's at, he gonna play about 5 more games in the NBA, bro. So what's he talking about?
I'm just saying, like,
he's gonna play a lot more games.
I just
if the argument is AD like not being in the top 30,
skill wise,
yeah, skill wise, absolutely.
Well, that's all that needs to be said, I think.
I thought your resume had some importance in this.
It does
to be on the 75th anniversary team.
Is he on the top 75?
He is, and that's
obviously his resume is good enough. Moving on. So let's talk about the MVP, Steph Curry.
Yeah. What's there to talk about?
16 3-pointers, man.
Yeah.
Best shooter of all time.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to oppose that, we can keep going.
Right.
We can just move to the next topic.
Yeah.
The older people still trying to hang in there.
No, they're not.
They are. Who? But I'm just saying, older people will still put up an argument for somebody else. We have already come to that.
Yeah, man. Like that's to me, that's that argument is over. That argument is over.
It's close to unanimous.
Yeah.
I listen to sports radio on my way to work in the morning, man.
Can
Them
I just,
older guys swear Larry Bird.
Come on, man. Come on,
He the truth to them.
Come on,
Look,
man.
Larry Bird was, and forever will be a bad motherfucker, but he ain't got the range Steph Curry did.
We've accepted that.
Yeah.
I'm listening to these
Or
old
Clay,
men,
right.
Bro, they'd rather die with him. You hear me? I don't care what you're talking about.
Can I just ask y'all something? He has to have muscle memory mastered for him to like shoot and then literally just turn around like that.
Yeah, you know.
He has like
answer me this. when he's done that, have you guys ever seen him miss?
No. And that's why he does.
And I know I'm not from Golden State, so I don't watch every single game because I'm sure they wouldn't put it on ESPN if he did miss. But I've never seen it.
They put that on the highlight if he missed it.
I think they would.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Because he only does that when he's super hot and he knows.
Yeah, he only do it when he's cooking. Yeah.
It just feel a certain. I feel like when he releases,
He know
everything is set up.
He knows
it's going in. He just shot a fucking, what was that, like a 40-footer, and then turned around and looked at Trey. He looked at Trey because everybody say Trey is like the baby Steph next coming to Steph. He
can shoot, but nah.
But Steph he shot that. It wasn't even halfway down and he turned around and started running back, bro. He's like damn near like a machine or something.
He's gonna make records no human being will ever break.
I definitely think
by the time his career is over, he's gonna have records, bro. It's no human being's gonna break.
Yeah, the number of threes, like he's gonna put that record. Like
he's already,
he's
working.
Like you're not gonna be able to get it. Like you ain't gonna be able to get it. How many more years
he got left in him? What, 6,
He's
7?
32. What is he? 31, 32?
I don't know, man.
Man, as long as you can shoot that three, you could play. Bro, yeah.
All a man has to do is keep himself in shape and run off screens.
Yeah.
And just keep shooting. That's it. He ain't in the trenches. He ain't banging and all that stuff. So shout out to Steph Curry.
Yeah.
He also won me some money because I bet on him winning the MVP.
The first Kobe Award.
Yeah.
The first Kobe MVP Award.
Was it last year too?
No, it was
the first one.
This year. It was the first year. Then they renamed it. Yeah.
Man. Shout out to Kobe, man. Still miss that brother, man. We was in the trenches doing what we do when we heard that news. I thought you was lying, man. Shout out to Kobe. Here's the Kobe, man. Damn.
Why would I lie about something like that? First of all,
it's a figure of speech, bro. Because I was just so in shock about what you said, man. I didn't think you were really lying about it.
Okay,
relax, man. Damn.
Well, why are you saying that on camera? You telling people that I'm lying about Kobe dying, bro?
I didn't feel he was lying about it. I just hoped he was. Is that better? Cheers. Cheers.
Yes, sir.
That's a huge difference.
Yep.
Damn, man.
Because the way it came off was like I was like some type of nigga who have a tendency to lie about it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I'm just declare. Just another one of those crazy lies about famous people dying. You know? Not cool. That's all I'm saying. Not cool. Proceed.
I was trying to go with him, but he definitely got me on that, man. No, I don't think you have a tendency of lying about famous people being deceased. Blacksburg, we have a game you have brought to the occasion. Can I, let me introduce it.
Sure,
Are you ready? Are you queued up?
I have been ready for...
What I'm going to do is... I'm going to introduce it.
Waiting on my moment.
I'm going to introduce it, and then you have to, lay the rules down and all that.
Got you.
But I'm going to do my voice, like the voice from... What's a famous game show?
What is it?
Price is Right, maybe?
Price is Right, $50,000
square,
$50,000 pyramid.
Let me get my shit.
Yeah. If we can get some type of music edit, that'll be great.
Yeah, we'll do that. We looking at one of the best in the background, man. Okay, here we go. Introducing Name That Oppressor.
But this is Name That Oppressor. I am Billy Hoffa. This is the game show that exposes history's so-called heroes and sweethearts for the racist, oppressive scumbags that they really are.
Truly are.
Whether black, white, Asian.
No, they're all white. You better, they're all white. They're all white. Believe that. You better believe it. They all white.
Now they gonna try to get some bread from you.
Here are the rules. 3 multiple choice questions. 30 seconds to answer each question. I'll give you the correct answer after each question. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. He is the father of the modern day war on drugs. In reference to marijuana, he stated, reefer makes darkies think they're good as white men. Is it A, Richard Nixon? Is it B, Harry Anslinger? Is it C, J. Edgar Hoover? Is it D, Herbert Hoover? Y'all need those names one more time?
No, I know who it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was that J. Edgar?
Richard Nixon, Harry Anslinger, J. Edgar Hoover, or Herbert Hoover?
I'm gonna say it's B.
I'm going with J. Edgar Hoover.
We got it. Okay.
I'm going with Herb.
So we got a Harry Anslinger, a J. Edgar Hoover, and a Herbert Hoover. The correct answer is B, Harry Anslinger. This nigga said, he was like, we got some smart niggas on the show. I was like, I don't know, they don't know these niggas. He's like, them niggas smart, they don't know these niggas. Number 2, this U.S. senator from the great state of South Carolina gave the longest filibuster, 24 hours, in U.S. history in order to prevent the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1957. And I quote, he said, I'm going to get my country Confederate on. There's not enough troops in the U.S. Army to force the Southern people to break down segregation and admit the nigger race into our theaters, into our swimming pools, into our homes, and into our churches. Was it A, Lyndon B. Johnson? Was it B, Lindsey Graham? Was it C, Strom Thurmond? Or was it D, Mitch McConnell?
It's C.
First of all, let me say it's a shame we don't know.
It's really not.
I'm going to go with B.
We got Lindsey Graham in the house. We got a Strom Thurmond in the house.
Lindsey Graham. Give me the choice one more time.
A, Lyndon B. Johnson. B, Lindsey Graham. C, Strom Thurmond. And D, Mitch McConnell.
I go with B.
We got 2 Lindsey Grahams and C, Strom Thurmond. And once again, the fellow with the glasses is correct. It was Strom Thurmond's racist motherfucking ass.
Damn.
And you found out years later he actually fathered a black child.
Sure did.
Yeah, so.
Facts.
Yeah.
I know so.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Let's see. This one is tough for you, so we're going to see what he's going to do with this one.
I'm piggybacking him.
All right. This media mogul and founder of Fox News got his big break when he became media advisor for old tricky Dick Nixon. He was also the mastermind behind the Willie Horton TV ad. This fear-mongering commercial charged that Bush's opponent, Michael Dukakis, allowed a black man convicted of murder out of prison on weekends, enabling him to assault and rape whites. They literally ran a fucking ad for this. Was it A, Rupert Murdoch? Was it B, Roger Stone? Was it C, Joseph McCarthy? Or was it D, Roger Ailes?
I remember this situation too.
It was heavily charged. And all a lie. Was it A, Rupert Murdoch? Was it B, Roger Stone? C, Joseph McCarthy?
I'm gonna go with
or D,
A.
Roger
I'll
Ailes?
go with A.
We got Rupert Murdoch. We got a Rupert Murdoch. Cue the Jeopardy music right now. There you go. There you go.
They just had this. I'm trying to remember what his name is. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm going with B.
We got Roger Stone.
Look at him trying to keep his perfect streak going. Come on, man. Damn.
It's so important to him, too.
I'm going to go with D. I'm going to go with D.
He's going with D, Roger Ailes, and the answer is you should have waited for him, D. Roger Ailes, bitch ass racist motherfucking
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You know, the Nixon thing gave it a, he worked in the Nixon administration. Yeah. Before he did Fox,
They got a documentary on him. Russell Crowe plays him.
Yep.
Okay.
And that was Name That Oppression. So we're going to try to bring that to the show occasionally.
That was nice, man.
Yeah.
So, what's his prize? A shot.
No.
Take a shot.
All you got it. All you.
Take a heavy one too, bro. That was like pretty impressive, man. Damn.
And make sure y'all look those cocksuckers up too.
Hey man,
that's what happened when you watch too many damn documentaries and just
don't slight yourself. You read
useless information. Yeah.
You read,
And you know some shit.
you definitely
know what I mean?
some shit. Both of you motherfuckers are just too engulfed in racism.
It's hard not to be.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I hang around.
You be talking the same shit. He be calling me like,
it's hard.
Yeah, these white motherfuckers just. I know.
Yeah, we definitely have our. You know what? That is actually crazy and accurate, and I would implore you guys to hit me up a little bit more when you just want to decompress about.
When you frustrated about just being a black
Yeah.
We do it a lot. Am I lying? Like we do
like
it
once a week. We just talking about being a black man in the middle.
That is what we call therapy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's
cathartic.
Huge. It's actually
Absolutely.
that we can do that with each other as black men, man. I don't take that lightly at all. So thank you, brother, for being that person for me, that brother for me, and let's do that, y'all.
Yeah,
let's start to
let's do it.
Yeah, because that's one of our biggest issues. I think is just to not wanting to feel vulnerable, right?
Yep.
But vulnerability is actually that's where the strength lies.
Yep, facts.
So let's start doing that more often, man. Because I love y'all, brothers. Man.
Same here, man.
Real quick before we get out of here, what are the Bears gonna do next season? Hey, you all got.
I ain't saying shit.
You ain't gotta talk to me, even though you have a Bears hat.
Bill,
that's a Billy
don't cheat me,
nigga.
Bill. I want to hear.
So, you know what? Let me explain to you what his relationship is with the Chicago Bears. Right?
Okay.
I'm gonna explain.
Okay.
It is he's afraid of being vulnerable. We just talked about it.
Yeah.
Talked about it.
He broke his heart so many times.
So
I watched Red Zone. So if you come over to my house to watch the game, you're gonna see the Bears on Red Zone. You ain't gonna watch the whole.
to watch the whole.
No,
game.
fuck no.
You refuse to.
Can't do it. I can't take it no more, man.
So he is the guy that is still in love with the abuser, but he refuses to. I can't let you. But once the abuser starts doing certain things, if it's like week 6, if the abuser hasn't abused him in a minute, he may let him sit in and they may go to a movie together, have a beer or something. But if that abuser, a lot of Bears, get to the late in the a deep run in the playoffs, which is only like 2 games, right? Now the abuser is going to, maybe be able to lay down with him and chill with him a little bit, and it's coming from there. So he is a very stubborn individual when it comes to expressing his real feelings on certain things.
I am cautious.
That's my take.
And as he stated, I am afraid at this point to be vulnerable with the Bears. I will pass it to you.
Well, Bill, I'm not going to even keep it on with this because I'm just as traumatized as you are.
Yeah, because he's lost. He's lost. Did he lose some money? He didn't lose money.
He had to buy some drink. He had to buy some bottles. Yeah.
I had to buy some bottles.
And he had to agree with everything we wanted him to say.
Yes, sir.
I did.
That was a fun podcast.
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy? I'm going to do something foolish like that again. There's some pride in knowing when you're foolish. There's pride in that.
Skills,
you know what I mean?
come on,
There
man.
ain't no sense of being ashamed of it.
Don't do it, Skills.
I am foolish for my Bears.
Here we go.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
For my Bears. I can't guarantee they're going to be good.
Okay.
But I am optimistic. I am hopeful that they're good. I will be at a game whether they are or not.
What are you saying? It sound like you wanted to make another wager or something.
No, not right now.
Oh, okay.
Not right now.
Did you get that too?
I felt like it was coming. Yeah,
something was coming in regards.
Yeah.
Hey, Parks, you got me a real vulnerable part when that happened, Parks, and I committed to that too quick. And I watched the episode.
I told you not to commit
I got too
to it. Right.
Like I was confident.
I seen all of it.
I was confident in that bet.
He said, like, I was like, I asked him, you want to make a wager? I was hoping you said that. I was trying to spare y'all.
Right.
I thought I was doing them a favor, letting them walk away.
They gonna fire Nagy, but they gonna keep pace. Watch, and
I'm optimistic for them. And I hope
it's like,
I've seen this thing in real time.
He lives in the world of pessimism right now when it comes to.
Well, he's seen enough to feel that way.
I live in a world of optimism with him, but I'm no fool.
Yeah.
Oh no, you've been the fool quite a few times.
Exactly. That's why. Can I change? Am I allowed to change?
You have, because I changed. I was the fool for a long time.
I don't recall that. I do recall that. Sorry.
I don't know if I'm gonna ever come back on this motherfucker.
Well, if you decide to
shitting on
Mr.
the entire show.
podcast, Strange Fruit Premium Cannabis is on deck, and that is a wrap. Shout out to the Bears. Shout out to Skills. Shout out to Vince Sanity.
Thank you, sir.
Shout out to the Black Spurt. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Man, I
appreciate that. I am
1,000%, brother.
Big Mel, a.k.a. The Premise, 2 of them. Until next time, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Man, tell them I'm unapologetically black, melanin heaven. So keep your 2 cents. We charging much more about the rain on them. I can't contain it anymore. Let's go.